Good morning, Metcalfe County. Good afternoon, Metcalfe County. I'm here bringing some news on the hour, and every second for you to hear. Nah, I'm just not every hour. Just giving you a what's up, Metcalfe County, and I just want to talk about some local news and some local goings on, and then we'll, a lot of poor people in Metcalfe County. Nothing wrong with that. You can be strong in yourself. Be strong for yourself and do what you can, but you should also recognize where you're at. The two biggest planks of the platform of my lieutenant governor platform is a war on poverty. It's all about the economics, stupid, right? It's all about the wages and GDP, and it's all about the money. It's all about the economics, and then the war on poverty, and then police accountability. The police have absolutely lost their mind. They have been committing crimes all across the United States. And if we are going to, there's an increase of militarization of the police, an increased militarization, but we're not actually seeing an increase of crime. So it's unnecessary, the increase of, the militarization of the police. We're not the Iraqi people. We're not the Palestinian people. We're not Yemeni people. We're not the people that, you're supposed to be bombing. We're also not the people that you're supposed to be, exploiting. We're not the sweatshops. We're not Bangladesh, Philippines, this isn't how we should not be treated as such. Unfortunately, I think that's exactly how we are treated. The way that they treat companies and countries overseas is how they're treating us right here. So, for example, I pulled up this Carhartt, okay? So Carhartt, they make a good quality, a good durable work clothes. That's what Carhartt makes. The reason why I bring up Carhartt is because there's a Carhartt in Edmonton, Metcalfe. So Carhartt, it's this durable clothing line, and they have a sewing plant in Edmonton. Not the headquarters. The headquarters isn't there. We want to get all the headquarters, as many headquarters as we can. But it's the headquarters is in Dearborn, Michigan. U.S.-based clothing company founded in 1889. Is known for work clothes such as jackets, coats, overalls, coveralls, vests, shirts, jeans, dungarees, and fire-resistant clothing. It's founded in Detroit, Michigan. Make work clothing for railroad workers. Their initial growth throughout the 1890s was focused on railroad workers' need for durable and long-lasting work overalls. Found on construction farms, ranches, all over the place. So Tommy Boy Records used Carhartt jackets as a promotional tool. In the 1990s, Carhartt jackets achieved popularity with crack dealers. They needed to keep warm and they needed to carry a lot of stuff, said Stephen J. Raphael, the New York City salesman for Carhartt. Then the kids saw these guys on the street and it became the hip thing to wear. So I'd be very skeptical. There is a sewing facility, a Carhartt sewing facility in Edmonton. I'd be very skeptical if, I would be very surprised if they respect workers' rights, if they pay a decent wage, if they're actually doing what they're supposed to be doing. So they've been outsourcing. They've been outsourcing to Honduras, Guatemala, Dominican Republic, China, the Philippines. So these are where they outsource to. And we have a sewing facility. So it's textile, just, garment factory workers. And they want to maximize their profits. And, those damn American workers just want to be paid a decent wage. So you can't do that. So you got to go to Honduras, which actually just had a coup d'etat, Guatemala, Dominican Republic. Both of those are known for U.S. intervention. China, too, and the Philippines. So actually, we bombed all those countries. And Mexico. So, when it comes to corporations, the types of corporations that I want in Kentucky is I want the headquarters to be based here. So Yum Brands, that's KFC, I think Taco Bell, some other things. Yum Brands is based out of Louisville. Good. We want Yum Brands here. And then Houchins Industries. Houchins Industries is from Bowling Green. So your IGA, your Save-A-Lots, that money, it's still hierarchical, but it's staying within Kentucky. It's staying in our state. Compared to, buying Walmart. It goes to a bunch of Arkansasian, trust fund babies. So that's, it might provide a job here and there, but they depress wages. And, it's a free market. Do what you want to do. but we're profiting. You know, we are. Why can't some company in Kentucky do what Walmart is doing? You know, why wouldn't we try to have our own headquarters? You know, have a Kentucky Mart or something. I don't know. There's anything you could do, I could do better. I could do anything better than you. So Carhartt's kind of like your Dickies, right? Strong, durable work clothes. There's a sewing plant in Edmonton. Recently, there was a South Edmonton Church of Christ was destroyed by a fire almost 3 months ago, burning early in the morning of February 20th, one of the coldest days of the year. So we've had Snowmageddon, we've had Tornado-mageddon, we've had Lightning-mageddon, we've had Rain-mageddon, we've had, you know, we've just had a ton of stuff that's just been weird weather just constantly. It's supposed to go in like a lion, out like a lamb. Marches, right? March showers brings April flowers, but it's almost May now, and we still haven't, you know, we've gone past the flowers, but there's been frosting, and I had a friend on Facebook sit there and say that she was wearing a mini skirt with a heavy overcoat and, you know, a hat. So, you know, this Kentucky weather, it's the only place where you could get frostbitten and sunburnt on the same day. So, South Edmonton Church of Christ, burning early in the morning, February 20th, one of the coldest days of the year. The temperature at the time of the fire was minus 10 degrees, making it somewhat difficult for firefighters from several volunteer fire departments: Metcalfe County, North Metcalfe, Edmonton, Summer Shade, Marrowbone, Breeding, East Barron, and Highsville to fight the blaze. So Metcalfe County, it's 10,000, a population of 10,000, which makes it actually half the size of Breckinridge County. But I just named, you know, a lot of volunteer fire departments. We got a lot of volunteer fire departments here. I wouldn't mind actually, you know, volunteering my time and helping out. If they wanted some of that help, I don't know if they do or not. So there's a big, you know, there's a church that burnt down. They're working on getting it back together. That's going on in, you know, Metcalfe County. This is off the Glasgow Daily News. Within just, you know, 4 articles are like, no, you cannot look at any more of our stuff. You know, whenever it gets to that point, I'm like, all right, fuck you. Clearly, you know, you're going to make me pay for my information. I don't want it. You don't understand the internet. And a lot of times you could just, you know, sort of delete the, you know, the history and click right back on it, and you could still, you know, read it. So, lots of raining in Metcalfe County. There's lots of raining here. I had already kind of talked about it, but this is a report, April 16th, 2015. The county experienced widespread flooding, including on Stockton Street on the west side of Edmonton, where a creek overflowed Wednesday night. It got way up out of its banks, said Emery Kidd, Metcalfe County Emergency Management Director. Thursday morning, it was running full, but it's not out of its banks. Roads that previously were impassable due to high water were open to traffic Thursday. There were several yesterday and the day before that were impassable, said the judge executive Greg Wilson. If it keeps raining, the water is going to go back up again. Genius. Smart stuff. In addition, the one bridge in Metcalfe County partially collapsed due to a hole that had formed after 2 tiles separated due to high water, he said. So, rain, too much rain sucks, right? Flash flooding sucks. There's a Glasgow Daily Times also reports that it's got a grand jury. It convened March 27th, and they handed down 4 indictments. So Kelly Phelps Reese, 30, of Edmonton, for 2 counts of failure to report change in order to receive benefits. So either she was getting food stamps or she was getting unemployment, and she didn't change the information, and she kept on getting benefits. Supposedly, it's what she's accused of. This is remarkable because they're criminalizing. You know, was she deserving? Was she not deserving? There is, you know, 24% of Metcalfe Countyans are below the poverty line, and 32% of Edmontonians are impoverished. So they're sitting there coming after you. If you're getting benefits, they're coming after you. So really, I mean, we've always been out here really, by ourselves. Every once in a while, you might be able to get benefits, but it's always been us by ourselves. So I'm afraid for Kentucky, because I think if you start to cut the benefits, we're a receiver state. We receive $1.50 for every dollar that we send out. So if Kentucky is going to cut, the bite the hand that feeds them, are we going to be able to pull out of this? Are we smart enough? Are we have a good enough economy to where we can pull ourselves out? Or is it going to be shock therapy, and we're going to be exploited, and there's going to be sweatshops, and we're going to have to work for minimum wage for Walmart so that way they can make a ton of profits in Arkansas, but we don't ever develop ourselves in our own community? So, Office of the Inspector General Chris Knifley testified. Nathan Douglas Crumpton, 22, of Summer Shade, for theft by unlawful taking. Auto, $500 or more, but under $10,000. When these outrageous fines come in with the jails and the police, they take all of your property. Very rarely do I ever get all my stuff back after going into the jail. And that's stealing, that's thievery. If thou shalt not steal, if you don't believe in thou shalt not steal, then you're the bad person. You're the bad guy. And, don't rape, don't murder, don't steal, and don't hit. I mean, if we can't agree on those things, we don't have a society, okay? So don't rape, don't murder, don't steal, don't hit. It's the 4 big evils, and that's not even all the evils, but those are just the most clear-cut evils. All right, I just walk up to somebody and punch them. I'm in the wrong, and the golden rule says I don't want that happening to me. That's why I don't go do it to anybody else. Metcalfe County Sheriff Office Deputy Josh Neal testified. So that's fascinating. The Inspector General Investigator Chris Knifley testified. So they're having these indictments. The grand jury, so it's this big ordeal. The prosecutor gets all the people in the county together at least once a month, and they issue all these indictments. And so you never know who these people are when this meeting actually takes place. I guess the county attorney just invites whoever they want to invite. Metcalfe County Sheriff's Office Deputy Josh Neal testified. Brandon Michael Murphy, 24, of Gallatin, Tennessee, for first-degree sodomy. Victim under 12 years of age. 2 counts, second-degree sodomy, and first-degree sexual abuse. So that's not sodomy, okay? The KSP trooper Jonathan Paul testified. It's fucked up that sodomy is still a crime in Kentucky, right? This is rape. This is statutory rape. This is abuse of a minor. So they're actually giving Brandon Michael Murphy a break for some reason. Victim under 12 years of age. So he's being charged with it, right? So an indictment is not a conviction. An indictment just means that there is probable cause that a crime occurred. So think about Boone County, Kentucky. They could not find probable cause that a crime had been occurred when they found a dead body, Samantha Ramsey. Samantha Ramsey was found shot up. So she had 4 bullet holes inside of her. But Boone County citizens, they said that no crime happened. The grand jury, which are 12 citizens of the county, they looked at that and they said, nah, there's not a crime there. They have no morality. They're complete psychos, and they defend fucking Nazi psychopaths. And so when you get these indictments, for these guys, Nathan, Kelly, Brandon, Thomas Lee Parrish, there's so much more forthcoming to, this guy for making a false statement to increase unemployment benefits over $100. So Thomas Lee Parrish, 32, of Edmonton, the Kentucky Division of Unemployment Insurance investigator Allison Tager testified. I mean, we're paying all this fucking money for this big bloated state, this corrupt government officials, to go around and sort of harassing people. And people are poor. You want to sit there and fuck over somebody for $100 or so. You won't go after the jailers who took my money. You won't go after the murderer who killed Samantha Ramsey. But you are going after these, unemployment benefit folks. So that's, the indictments seem like they're easy to come by when it comes to regular citizens, but when it comes to public officials, they're hard as fuck to come by. So that's not fair. That should be more transparent of a process. If they're guilty, they're guilty. So, to hell with them. But that's especially, the sodomy charge. But the other ones I could be more forgiven about, the theft, that's just outright stealing. And so it's actually crazy that they had to get an indictment. I guess they have to get indictments for any felonies. Are they going after all these people are getting felonies? That's usually why you go to a grand jury, because they're a felony charge, and the grand jury is supposed to sort of stop frivolous lawsuits from going through. I have a couple more, pages here. There's a big news story, April 22nd, 2015, 3 days ago. After several months of discussion about whether Metcalfe County Ambulance Service should be a contracted provider for major insurance companies, contracts have been drawn up for its board of directors to sign. Several issues arose after the ambulance service, on the advice of its billing company, opted out of being considered a preferred provider, including patients experienced significant delays in getting their claims paid, denials for payment that probably would not have occurred otherwise, and the checks for reimbursement going directly to the patient, who didn't always forward it to the ambulance service. So, I don't know. There's big, a lot of politics about who's getting the EMS insurance provider. So, EMS insurance. If something happens with your EMS, your, ambulances, your emergency vehicles, or people, I guess there's insurance to cover them. Just crazy how much, politics just goes into something, something that you would think would be seemingly simple. Insurance, I think the Health Insurance Exchange Connect is a good thing for Kentucky. I think we should expand it to home and car insurance. State insurance, it's just have some skin in the game. Just be a public option, be a competitor for anybody else, and if you think you could still outcompete the government, then go out compete them. They're just a player in the game, and everyone, I don't mind. I hate monopolies, but I think it'd be the cheapest in the world. As soon as government got into car insurance, I would throw my $20 in, $20 for the year, and you're covered. House insurance, they should do the exact same thing. It doesn't make sense actually why we don't do that. We allow these private companies just to exploit everybody, charge whatever fucking rates they can get away with. And, they're trying to make money, so of course they don't want to pass any of your claims. There's an amended $3.34 million budget was approved after a total of nearly 3 hours of discussion. So that's probably why there's a lot of politics, because there's a lot of money behind it. So that's something going on. Glasgow Daily Times. Coming to the end of Metcalfe County. I got Kingsford Charcoal. I got this up because I mentioned that there is a Kingsford plant there. They make a lot of briskets. They used to be the only, manufacturer for briskets, but I think they've expanded since then. But they have, the Kingsford company was formed by Henry Ford and E.G. Kingsford. So I remember seeing Kingsford. You notice the only briskets actually, I can recognize or I can remember. So they got a monopoly on the charcoal industry. This is a factory that's in Metcalfe County. And it was just founded by Henry Ford. So Henry Ford had something to do with the development. Charcoal was developed from Ford Motor Company's factory waste wood scrap. The Kingsford Company was formed when E.G. Kingsford, a relative of Ford's, brokered the site selection for Ford's new charcoal manufacturing plant. The company, originally called Ford Charcoal, was renamed in E.G.'s honor. Kingsford charcoal is made from charred soft woods, pine, and spruce, then mixed with ground coal and other ingredients to make a charcoal briquette. So, I never knew that. Charcoal briquettes are just made of coal and wood products. So, as of August 2000, they have wood char, mineral char, mineral carbon, limestone, starch, borax, sodium nitrate, and sawdust. So that's what they're turning sawdust into, charcoal briskets. So that's, that's cool. That's what they're doing in the Metcalfe County. So that's I like this company a little bit. Carhartt, I'd be skeptical. I bet they're paying minimum wage and not paying anybody decent wage, trying to maximize their profits. They're companies, they're corporations. That's what they all do, right? So I guess Kingsford would probably be doing the exact same thing. Y'all need to unionize, have solidarity, treat each other right. Not pay each other dirt, not pay each other dick, not have power over people and just be, shitty. Hey, do this because I told you. I remember working at United Dairy Farmers, and this shift leader, she was making 50 cents more than me. I was making $5. She was making $5.50. And she would just come over and say, the cooler needs to be cleaned. You need to get that cooler cleaned. And then just walk away. I didn't know her, didn't talk to her, and I felt like, how fucking rude. How shitty is she? She's got no teeth, right? She's looks stupid as fuck. She's got one of those faces that just looks stupid. And so whenever she would come to me, just, hey, go do this, and then would walk away, it's kind of like, fuck you. You can't ask. You can't just ask a motherfucker. You can't just be nice. And then, it did piss me off. It's fucking bullshit. 50 cents more means you're going to be a fucking dick to me. And then that's divide and conquer, right? Whoever's kissing the boss's ass the most is the one that's, everybody paying attention to. Come on. Can we, let's maintain our dignity. We know what jobs we need to work. I'll go in, I'll do this job, and that's it. So, get off my fucking ass. Last thing I'm going to do, shout out to the city of Edmonton, Kentucky. I like your all's name, Edmund, named after Edmund Rogers. Mispronounced after Edmund. It's E-D-M-U-N-D, but they spelled Edmund. Edmund. Come to town, Edmund. Come to Edmonton, man. Okay, so Edmund is Edmundstown, but it's, okay, anyways. Mayor Howard D. Garrett, what's up? Mayor Howard D. Garrett, I don't know if you're a Democrat or not. If you are, go vote. And if you're not a Democrat, don't go vote, because your vote won't matter. Your vote won't matter. What, you don't vote? Okay, well, I wasn't talking to you then. If you don't vote, you don't matter. And if that's where your position is, you're very loud and proud about how insignificant and, pointless you are. And, more power to you. I cannot, tyranny, ignorance, lying, hypocrisy. I cannot handle these things. I cannot deal with these things. And superstition. So, Councilwoman Kathy Nunn, Councilwoman Teresa Hamlet, Councilman Kurt Estes, Mayor Howard Garrett, Councilman Wayne Wilson, Councilman Billy Jeffries, and Councilman Danny Porter, City Clerk Elizabeth Gibson, Deputy City Clerk Don DeVore. This is all the people part of the City Council of Edmonton. There's a shout out. What's up? Seem like nice, homely folks. They're all smiling, except for the mayor. He's not smiling at all, though he is wearing a nice sort of cardigan sweater vest. And like I said, hello to everybody, right? It wouldn't matter if, if I became governor, it wouldn't matter if you're a Republican or Democrat. It matters if you're an asshole or not. I don't care if you're gay, straight. I don't care if you're poor, rich, black, white, male, woman. It doesn't matter. Republican, Democrat. If you're nice to me, I'll be nice to you. If you're an asshole to me, I'll be an asshole right back. And that's the golden rule. And I think of justice in the same respects, do unto me. You want to, hurt me, then I have a right to hurt you. You want to be nice to me, then I'm all tickled to death. Thank you. Because I don't see too many nice folks or decent folks. I see a lot of assholes out here. I have been seeing, actually here in Breckenridge County, I've been tickled to death at the people that have, I've got stuck in the snow a couple times and stuck in a ditch, and people pulled me out, and I was very appreciative of them doing that. So, not everybody's a bunch of assholes, and I bet there some of them were Republicans. And so it doesn't matter what, what your political party is. I do align myself more with a progressive stance. My Democratic Party has actually run away from me, so I'd want the Democrats to become Democrats again. So it's time for the Democrats to become Democrats again. Actually start standing up. We need to cure the poor. We need to have, Democrats are the ones that give us the Civil Rights Act. The Democrats are the ones that give us Medicaid and give us health care and give us, probably education too. So it's the liberals and roads and public works projects and all these government workers, which, I think it might be the one state might be a little bit bloated, but they're, throughout history we have, well, do we keep things the same, be conservative, or do we change things and be liberal? Change things or keep things, change, keep, change, keep, change. That's the tug of throughout all history, but we haven't had those options here in Kentucky because even the Democrats are conservative. So we have conservative Republican light or an actual conservative Republican. Fuck the light guy. We're going to go straight Republican. Well, what happens when instead of just saying harsher police state and harsher drug wars and harsher class war and harsher all those other wars against the people, what do people say? Well, let's have some love and compassion, because that's who I am. Sometimes we say, well, throw the book at him. Let's have some tough justice and let's pound this motherfucker's face in. Other times we say, hey, let's have some love and compassion. Let's be more tolerant. That's me. That's where I come in. And I think if we had a pendulum that actually worked, sometimes liberal, sometimes conservative, we'd be farther than where we're at. Instead, we're stuck 30 years back in the Bronze Ages, and let's get to the 21st century. Let's get this is the postmodern internet generation. And it's time to do better, Kentucky. Get some running water, brush our teeth, quit drinking Mountain Dew so much, wear some shoes. Actually, I don't know. I don't like wearing shoes myself. But, just loving each other, caring about each other, having a war on poverty. We can eradicate poverty if we focused on this. Like they passed that heroin bill because they focused on it. Now let's make poverty the number one agenda. Put the same amount of energy that you had into fucking. The more I think about the heroin bill, the more it pisses me off, because the drug war is a self-serving prophecy. So you go out there. Some poor sap is all depressed and sitting there injecting himself with heroin, and then you go there and you bust them right for that, and now they're before the judge, they're marked as a felon, and then they can't vote, and now they have no political jurisdiction. So you're attacking poor people. Poor people their right to vote is taken away from them, even if they've already done their time and paid their debt to society. You're still harassing these guys. And you've marked them out as a felon. They can't vote, can't get a job. So it's perfect. It's a perfect fucking catch, not even a catch-22, but it's sort of like they get the cake. Government officials get their cake and they get to eat it too. They get to fuck with poor people. They get to fine them and tax them and get as much money as they can from them. And then then they mark them as felons. So when it comes to being reelected, they don't have to worry about those folks actually voting for them. Because they've marked them a felon. You can't vote. You don't have a right to vote. So perfect fucking setup, right? Mark somebody a felon. They can't vote for you. People look down on them. They've been taken. Their rights have been taken away. They have no say-so in the political atmosphere. So I just, what's bullshit? That's such bullshit. There's I don't know. I've heard high numbers, maybe like 1 million voters or something, or 100,000 voters in Kentucky that cannot vote, even though they're ex-felons. They've done their time. They've served. Served their community. They've served out their sentences. So they paid their debt to society. Now it's time to welcome them back into our communities with wide open arms. And so again, I think that prisons, violence, police brutality has its place, but it's an option of last resort. It's not the option of first resort. We should exhaust all other options before we actually go. That's a nuclear option. Fuck it. Let's just beat this motherfucker up and throw him in a cage. That's an intense, judgment against somebody. So, City of Edmonton, and you guys are politicians, so I'm skeptical. I definitely like the people, the officials. I think they could be more forthcoming and more honest about what they're doing, where their taxes are, be more transparent. But anyways, Jonathan Masters, 1:46 p.m., April 25th, 2015. Go vote. May 19th, 2015. Go vote, go vote, go vote. Less than 3 weeks away, the primary. And Jack Conway and Sandy Overly, they're white-collar criminals. They don't care about you. They're more Republican than some of the Republicans are. So if you want to vote against the Patriot Act and the Iraq War and the Bush tax cuts and the class war that comes with that, the Patriot Act, the Bush tax cuts, and the drug war. If you want to vote for that, vote for Jack Conway. If you want to vote against those things, vote for me. Vote Young Masters, May 19th, 2015. Peace, Kentucky.